Hello, it's Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener. We're going to take 8 minutes to talk about 8 different flowering bulbs that you should plant now to get some great color in your garden for spring and summer. You've seen these racks at Costco. You've seen some of these racks at your favorite nursery. I'm going to show you my 8 favorite bulbs. Now, I live here in San Diego, and these are the 8 ones that I love to plant and recommend to my clients. One more thing before we get into all the bulbs, it's important that you look at the back of the package to make sure you're planting them at the right depth. Also, it's important that some of these bulbs, you want to make sure you refrigerate them or wait until after the frost. So make sure to read those instructions on the back of the planting guide before you just start throwing them in the dirt. All right, let's get cracking. The first one up is the Watsonia, which is a corm, a kind of a bulb. I love this. It is a very, very tough plant. Now, some people say, oh, it's invasive. I say, I love invasive. Invasive means it won't die. So that's a really, wonderfully tough plant. Great orange flowers, early spring bloomers. So this is one of these, if you want to have color at different times of your garden, of all the bulbs you're going to see on this list, this is the first one to bloom in my garden each year. Really easy to dig and divide, very tough one. Next up are Gladiolus. These are the next ones that will start blooming in March, and they are just gorgeous. Lots of really fun colors. Here's a quick tutorial on how to stake those Gladiolus. I like to mix Gladiolus in with my roses because the Gladiolus start blooming right as the roses finish their first bloom cycle. The Gladiolus also lean on my roses to help get them going upright. But at a certain point, these guys are so big, they need to get some staking support. And that's why I bring in a whole bunch of these nice 3-foot metal stakes, drive them into the ground. Now, it's important you don't want to drive them right into the gladiola bulb because you will shatter it and you won't get any more gladiolas. So move it about 6 inches away from where the plant's coming out of the ground. And again, just drive it in there, get your wire, and just tie it up nice to that bulb. And that'll support the bloom through its entire bloom cycle so it won't fall over. Because as these guys get bigger and bigger, and mine get as tall as 6 feet, you want to get them some support so you can enjoy that bloom. Gladiolas will bloom for, each one will bloom for at least 2 weeks, and then it'll rebloom again. So they are really spectacular plants to mix in with your roses. Now, this is my rose garden. I have about 100 Gladiolus mixed in with about my 30 roses and a whole bunch of other things. And next month, you'll see the Dahlias start to come up in this garden. So I'll show you that video next time. Well, that's all. All right, moving on. As I mentioned, I like to mix Gladiolas and Dahlias. These Dahlias are just wonderful. These are actually tubers, so it's a bunch of little bitty bulbs kind of linked together. And there's lots of different ones. There's big ones, there's small ones, there's huge dinner plate ones. Great ones for end of spring, early summer, and then they bloom all the way through summer. Lots of fabulous colors. And as always, there are links in the comments section on buying all these bulbs and having them shipped directly to your house. Great cut flowers. All 8 of these bulbs are great cut flowers, but Dahlias are probably the best because they're just so big and gorgeous. Next up, we have the bearded iris, which is a rhizome. Now, a rhizome that's what a rhizome looks like. It's like a long, skinny, carrot-looking thing. Lots of really wonderful, fun colors. It's also easy to dig up and divide an iris. So here's kind of a little tutorial on how to dig up and divide an iris. And this actually applies to anything that is a rhizome. So here's a clump of bearded irises in my garden. And here's my dog Ginger kind of snooping around saying, oh, you better get cracking on these babies. So basically you want to dig these babies up, being really careful not to mess up the rhizome. And it's always good with irises that you want to dig them up every, 3 to 5 years to really get the bloom production up. If you have some irises that just aren't blooming, dig them up and divide them, and they'll be a lot happier. So make sure when you dig them up, try to be as careful as you can, and then shake the dirt off. And that way you can actually see the rhizomes clearly. So trim away some of that green foliage and then use some sharp clippers and carefully remove it. Now, one thing I do recommend also is you sterilize those clippers when you're cutting into a rhizome. So sterilize them with some nice hot water or even vinegar just to kind of make sure they're nice and clean. Separate all those rhizomes. So here's that clump I dug up. This one was one single rhizome, and 5 years after I planted it, I dug them up and I had over 30 of them. And these are ready to be replanted. Now, you can do a couple different things. You can put them in pots in dirt. If you live someplace where the soil is too cold to get really good growth habit, and then you'll get some nice green growth. You can also put them right into the soil. Here in Southern California, you can put them right in the soil. And so I love digging these up and dividing them and sharing them with my clients. And here's Ginger saying, good job. Let's go to the beach. All right, next up we have the Stargazer Lily. This is a classic bulb, a really big bulb. And so this is definitely one of those that you want to make sure you plant deep to give it that good support. You probably will have to stake it if it's one of the really big ones. This one I have is the pink one I have is just giant. It's about 8 inches in diameter. And they're so fragrant. Oh, I love using these in floral bouquets because they have such a heavenly fragrance. So Stargazer Lily, really fabulous. Doesn't take up a lot of room. Another one that's an early season bloomer is a Dutch iris. Nice and small, but still just gorgeous and a great cut flower. It comes back year after year. Dutch irises are so beautiful. It was one of my mom's favorite bulbs. Another one, more of a tropical one. This is a rhizome, Canna Lilies. Now, these are definitely plants, like most of these bulbs, that die to the ground. It's one of these plants that has a great tropical look, some really fun foliage. Oh my goodness, you can get some of these with variegated foliage. You can get some with like dark brown foliage. It's really kind of cool. Wonderful tropical plant. Again, dies to the ground, then comes roaring up. A belladonna lily. Now, this is a type of an amaryllis. Amaryllis, of course, are very reliable bulbs. Amaryllis comes in all kinds of fun colors as well. Here is an example of how to dig up and divide a bulb, which is different than a rhizome. So, starting out, here's a big clump. It's only 2 years old, and boy, it's spread out, and it's ready to be divided. Okay, I have dug it up. Here it is. Ready to get divided. All right, we have dug up the big giant clump of bulbs and roots, and now it's time to divide them. But before we can actually do the division, it's important to cut all this greenery away because we want the plant to focus on root development and not trying to feed its damaged greenery. So before I divide, I always trim all the greenery off. I've trimmed all the vegetation off of the tops of these, leaving about 12 inches of the stalk and greenery. And now, as you can see, it's much easier to see the bulb layout. So there are 9 bulbs now. It was only 3 when I planted this a couple years ago. It's divided into 9 good specimens. So I'm hoping I can get a good 5 or 6 of these out and into pots to then give to clients and put in other gardens. So there's 2 ways to divide a clump like this. Sometimes you can pull it apart with your hands, which is what I'm going to try. As you can see, we have divided it into 13 bulbs. It was 3, and now a couple years later, it's 13. Some of these, you can tell, are the original bulb. They are just massive. This is one of the original 3 that went into the hole. But what I'm excited about are these little babies that have developed. This is the great stuff. So some of these I'm going to put back in the hole to harvest in 2 years. But these other medium-sized ones, they're going to go in pots where I'm going to nurse the roots through the next hot month and then give them to clients to put in their gardens. So you want to take a 5-gallon pot, fill it up about 1/3 of the way with good potting soil, stuff it in there. It's kind of like that scene from Harry Potter where you rip them out of the soil, stick it in the pot, throw a little bit of soil in there, munch it all in there, put a little dirt, and that way the little babies stop screaming. And there you have a nicely divided belladonna lily. It's going to be a great plant for someone's garden the coming spring. Beautiful pink flowers. So once again, before dividing, and here's after dividing. We have a whole bunch in pots, one back in the ground in that spot. And don't forget to throw some water on those babies as soon as you put them in the pots. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to get more of my videos. Until next time, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, saying thanks for watching.